Hey everybody. Hiya. Welcome to Qisong's Facebook Live on this Sunday afternoon, which has turned out to be a beautiful blue sky afternoon here in the Midlands. Which makes a change. It's chilly though. I've been walking my granddoggy today and it's quite cold. Welcome my lovelies. Welcome. It's good to see you all here. So let's just, before we begin, take a moment just to arrive in, just to center, and just feel your breath. Feel your breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Your nose is for breathing, your mouth is for eating. The only time in Qisong that we use mouth breathing is when we're blowing out energy. We're purposefully releasing. The rest of the time it's nose in, nose out. And there's science that backs that. But let yourself just land here. Just as I am doing. I just want you all to join me around my kitchen table. Sitting together in a circle. We can imagine it's the night sky that we're sitting under. Some of you might be sitting under night sky, depending where you're watching this. So it's really good to see you all here. And I just want to introduce myself briefly. Some of you know who I am. If you don't know who I am, I'm Sue, and I'm the founder of Qisong. And Qisong is basically a program for less stress and more energy. In a nutshell, it brings you less stress, more energy. It allows you to sleep. It guides you back to your own inner rhythms and guides you home. And I'm just the person who's facilitating this. You're doing it. You're doing all the hard work. You're doing it. I'm just the person facilitating it and guiding you and supporting you in it. In midwifery, there's a midwifery doula, and I like to think of myself as a light doula. So I just assist you in the rebirth of your own light. And I've spent over 40 years in health and in guiding people to find their optimum health. And in Qisong, we blend science, medicine, astroenergetics, and our own body's wisdom. And this afternoon, what I want to share with you is something that quietly shapes us. The rhythms of the moon, and she's my favourite. The moon isn't just out there in the night sky looking pretty, there for us all to take nice photographs, to work out whether we can get a stronger camera, to work out the settings on our iPhones or our whatever phone we've got, just so that we can take the proper picture of her. She's there in the sky. She's our constant. And she's there, and this is the power of the universe for me. She has been put there in that particular position. I read somewhere that if she'd have been placed, or, if in the Big Bang, the planets had have landed just slightly millimeters out of where they were, there would not be any Earth. We would not be here. We wouldn't be able to be on the Earth. We wouldn't have gravity. If the moon wasn't there, if she wasn't protecting us, we'd have been obliterated by every asteroid known to man. It's the moon who is our natural satellite. But not only is she that, and that's pretty powerful in its own right, but she moves us. She pulls us internally. If we think the sun is our external, the sun in the sky and the sun in our astrology chart is the external. He's the fire, literally. He's the one that burns us. He's the one that pushes us forward into doing things. He's our conscience. He's our main reason for going out there. The moon is our just as powerful, just as strong, but she's our internal. She governs our hormones, and this is for men as well as it is for women. The moon guides men as well as she does women. It's for our fluids, it's for our moods. She's there guiding all things. She's there for our sleep, which is the big one. And then when we can understand her rhythm, our life begins to flow. And instead of feeling like an uphill battle, that we're fighting something, that there's something wrong. The amount of times I hear people say to me when I'm explaining this, so there's nothing wrong with me. I always thought there was something wrong with me. It's not. And there's nothing wrong in the planets either. It's just the way that we resist their guidance and their support, because we don't know planets are doing this for us until you do know. You don't know what you don't know until you know it, do you? So the moon lets us know just who we are at a deep spiritual level. As I say, the sun is your conscience, it's the yang energy, it's the principle. The sun's your ego, your vitality, your creative force. The sun in your natal chart shows just exactly where you are most creative, where you are, where you're meant to shine, where you're meant to go out. And then the moon is your body. The moon is your subconscious. She's your yin energy. She's your receptive, your principal energy, your memory, your reactions, your cycles, your rhythms, your instincts, and most of all, your habits. And also your gut reactions, which is quite relevant at the moment with it being a Virgo moon. In your natal chart, the moon represents your unconscious, your deepest personal needs. She represents your earliest memories, your reactions, your habits. The moon shows how we instinctively react or respond. It's the moon that just makes us do things just like that. She governs your inner self, all of those feelings, all of those deep desires, those soul urges that not everyone sees, but we can feel them. And no one teaches us how to breathe, do they? You know, we don't wake up one day and somebody says, this is how you breathe in, this is how you breathe out. We just do it. It's our moon that knows that. It's our moon that's guiding us to do that. The moon in the natal chart also shows you how to nurture yourself. The moon in your natal chart shows you what you need to do to feel good, to feel happy. We all need to feed our moons, literally. If you think of the ocean and you think how the tides rise and fall, all because of the moon's pull. And then I want you to think, our bodies, we're made up of water. Over 70% of our body is water, whether it be in our circulation, whether it be in our saliva, bodily fluids, or whatever. Therefore, we have to say that the moon moves us too in cycles. We see it in our sleep. We see it in, for women, our menstruation, which is actually named after the moon. You know, when we go to sleep, we go to sleep by the light or lack of the moon. When the moon rises, our body gets a trigger to release melatonin, which is the hormone that tells our body when to rest. And then in the morning, when it starts to get dawn and the moon starts to fall below the horizon, our body then gets the trigger from the moon falling and the sun rising to trigger the cortisol to wake us up in the morning. So we can see it in our hormones, in our estrogen, in our testosterone. They all show subtle shifts with the lunar phases. We see it definitely in our moods, and we also see it in our mental health. Years ago, probably when I started nursing, actually, not too long before anyway, psychiatric units used to be called lunatic asylums, you know, after the moon. We've all heard of, there used to be old lunatic asylums in most towns and villages. That name came from the moon. And then mental health issues like anxieties, cravings, low mood. And all of these can intensify around either the new moon or the full moon. And if you've ever felt restless at night when the moon is bright, or if you've ever noticed sudden cravings or a wave of emotion that you can't explain, it's not really random. It's the Lady Moon. So if we look at her phases, the moon goes through phases. So there's the new moon, which is what we're experiencing this evening, and that's when the energy's at the lowest. The body asks for a reset, it asks for rest, it asks for stillness. It's a time for listening in. It's a time for snuggling on the settee with a blanket and a really good book and a nice cozy warm drink. It's not a time for out there energy. And then you get, after the new moon, you get the waxing moon when the energy starts to build again. And this is the time where we can start to grow, where we can start to get creative, where we can start to get stronger. This is when new habits can start to form and take root more easily. And then we come to the full moon in the sky. And this is, as I've said, when emotions rise, when they're at their strongest. Sleep feels lighter, and the inner critic grows louder at this time. Our hormones peak. We often feel bloated and restless. Sometimes we can pull towards old patterns that we've had. After the full moon, we then go into the waning moon, and this is a time for letting go. It's a time for release. It's a time to forgive. It's a time, forgive yourself, and it's a time to prepare for the new cycle. It's when we need to start breathing a slower breath. It's a time when we need to journal. And if you've noticed your sleep, your moods, your cravings, they all seem to have their own rhythm. It's the moon that's showing you the pattern. And it's the moon that's showing you areas that you need to look at. It's the moon that's showing you awareness. And then there's another thing with the moon that you were born under, your natal moon. This shows you how your body and your mind can naturally process emotion. It's how you can seek comfort. It's even where your health challenges lie. And each sign of the zodiac corresponds to a part of the body. So from your head right down to your toes, each part of your body corresponds to one of the signs of the zodiac. And this isn't just poetic, and this isn't just woo-woo. It shows you where you might hold tension, where we hold all our emotions, and where health challenges could arise. And it's where we need to place our awareness. And it's where the moon's pull is most deeply felt. For example, Aries rules the head. And if you have a moon in Aries, it rules the head and the eyes. Taurus rules the throat and the thyroid. Gemini, the lungs and the nervous system, and so on, all the way through, all the way down to Pisces that rules your feet and your lymph. And when you know your moon sign, and if you don't already know your moon sign, ping me a message and I can have a look for you to find your moon sign. And then when you know the body part that actually governs, you can begin to bring your awareness to it, and you can understand why certain symptoms flare up around certain times of the month. And you can also find out how to work with them. Instead of being surprised by them when they arrive, and instead of resisting, and instead of locking that energy and just keeping going with it, we can work with it. And because this is natal and it's specific to you, there's two people can go through the exact same month with the exact same moon, but be born at different times of the year with a different natal moon sign, and they can have two completely different experiences of what's happening in their body. So, for example, I was born in July. My moon is Capricorn. One of the things with Capricorn moons, apart from wanting to be the CEO and the manager of everything, God love her, is she tends to hold things. So the Capricorn moon will hold emotions in. It will feel the emotions get pent up, which is how I was for you. I couldn't feel emotions. If you asked me what an emotion was, if you asked me what sadness was, if you asked me what joy was, I wouldn't have a clue. But because I held them so deeply inside of me, I never felt them. And because I held them like this, everything tensed in my body. So I have a lot of, joint pain. I have a lot of muscle pain. I have to oil my joints by doing my Qisong practices twice a day. If somebody told me to go to a gym and lift weights or do power running or do whatever, I probably wouldn't be able to do it because my joints, my Capricorn moon joints, would resist, especially now. But by doing gentle, slow, purposeful Qisong moves twice a day, my joints love me. My Capricorn moon loves me because I literally feed my moon by moving gently. And each of you can do the same when you raise that awareness of where your moon is in your chart and how you can feed your moon. So, when you understand your moon, you can stop fighting. You learn that your tides are your tides and you need to flow with those tides. You gain a predictability, you gain a steadiness, you gain a perfect way of moving yourself instead of moving against yourself. So, this is why I've created something special. I'm setting up VIP one-to-one moon sessions. And in these private VIP moon sessions, you and I will talk together, we'll speak about your moon, we'll speak about your emotions, your illnesses, your pains, and I will talk you through your moon phases and how they move through your body and what your natal moon reveals about your health challenges. That way you can build awareness around them. So this will be your personalized rhythm plan for your sleep, your stress, your energy cravings, emotional well-being, anything that's popping up because of Lady Moon. So normally these sessions, I normally run them for £177, but because this is the first time that I'm opening them, I want to make it easy for those of you who are really feeling called to step into your lunar rhythm. So for this beta round only, the first 7 people who sign up will receive the full session, the full 90-minute VIP one-on-one with me talking about your personal natal moon, less than half price. So for £70, you will get your moon reading. And it's not a generic reading, it's your own moon's reading. It's a way to feel more balanced, more resilient, a way to trust yourself again. So, if you've been feeling this new moon energy, and a lot of us have, there's a lot going on in this new moon, not least the eclipse as well. If you've been feeling decision fatigue, if you've been feeling analysis paralysis, if you've been going round and round with things, if you've been feeling unworthy, if you've been feeling self-critical and anxious, if you've been feeling really, really tired, but feeling really, really stressed, and if you've been craving steadiness or just simple curiosity about how your moon shapes you, this program is for you. There's only 7 spaces for £70. Roll the 7s. Once they're gone, they're gone. If your body's saying yes, follow that. Message me if you're interested. If you need more time to think about it, you can go to qisong.co.uk and click on the bit that says Enter Your Flow with Sue, and the details of all my programs are on there, and the moon rhythms are in there. After the first 7, it'll be up to its full price. So let's just finish with a brief breathing exercise. And inhale, as if the tide's rising. Exhale, as if the tide's falling away. You are the ocean. You are the moon. And thank you so much for being with me here. And I know I'll see some of you soon to go through some of the deep work of your own moon session. So thank you for joining me. Speak to you soon.